Oh my God, Fanita.
Hello, my name is Willie Bragg. Welcome to another edition of the Willie Bragg Show. I hope this day finds you well. Today, I want to talk about President Joe Biden, as I've been talking about him lately, and rather than to go with my rather usual "I told you so," which, let's keep it real, I told you so. Not necessarily my audience, because I know every one of you are pretty damn enlightened about and we know that he was not the one. Donald Trump wasn't the one either. But and contrary to what people think, you can actually oppose two candidates of the major parties in an election. They both can actually suck. They can both reek on policy level, and both can take positions that will not be able to relate to what you are wanting in a candidate to embrace. That's very possible. But for some reason, people seem to think otherwise, and that's a sad state of affairs. And it came to my attention last night. I was at work, and it came to my attention last night that that apparently Joe Biden struck a deal with Mitch McConnell to appoint a pro-life justice to the court as a way to basically stop Mitch McConnell from basically trying to obstruct. You're going to go and make a deal with Satan himself, Mitch McConnell. You know Mitch McConnell. Oh, Mitch McConnell. Oh, an asshole. Eat, drink, and sleep. Just finding a way to be an asshole to people. If I can't be an asshole to people, I won't have any reason to live. That's because that's me. I'm Mitch McConnell. I'm an asshole. That's my Mitch McConnell impression. Joe Biden has done this over and over again. And I mean, again, I don't want to say I voted third party, but I voted third party. I mean, voted third party in 2020, as I've been doing all these years. I know it sounds tiresome for me to say this, but I do this to make a point. Sometimes you have to repeat things to make a point. And I had a little bit of hope that he was going to do something. that I didn't have with Clinton's second term, or that I didn't have with Obama. I had a little bit of hope that there was going to be a $15 minimum wage to take place. I thought there might have been a little bit of debt forgiveness. I mean, I thought there might have been maybe a little bit of stimulus checks streaming in, something like that, something tangible. I mean, we did get $2,000, $1,400, $600 installment, $1,400 there. There's something. But we didn't get really anything tangible. No, I mean, really, no Build Back Better. There was no reason why. Honestly, there was no reason why we couldn't have gotten Built Back Better. I mean, there's no reason. I mean, and you know, and to let the right wing, and to let two, and there are more than two corporate Democrats, but two of the worst corporate Democrats out there, Kirsten Sinema and Joe Manchin, and there are others, get away with undermining and destroying Build Back Better. And Joe Biden just kind of go along to get along. And they let the right wing get away with the narrative that is somehow some woke piece of legislation. Everything I don't like is woke. You know, I mean, that's basically it. And so, worthless asshole. My gosh, he's worthless. And I knew 2 years ago, I knew what was going to happen. I mean, I knew what we were headed for. And I mean, I knew it. I mean, I bloody well knew it. I mean, I felt it through my bones. I felt it. And, you know, just kind of like, I knew, I mean, I could have made, I mean, I could have made a bet and I would have won that damn bet. So Joe Biden, you know, I mean, he's, as I said, he's the Mitt Romney we never had. He's the Bob Dole we never had. He's the John McCain we never had. And I'm going to keep saying that. And the Republicans could keep on saying, well, he's Bernie Sanders. They all want it all along. And which is bullshit. He's not. But I mean, I had an uneasy feeling that when at the very pit of my stomach, I knew from the very pit of my stomach that this was going to manifest, that this was going to be the ticket. I knew it. I knew it was going to be a Biden-Harris ticket. Corporate Democrat from hell. I mean, I knew it was going to be. And I mean, and the original, I mean, and I knew that the ticket that I ultimately wanted, the ticket that I ultimately dreamt, the one ticket that I ultimately wanted, and I have some issues about that ticket today, but still, a Sanders Gabbard ticket would have still been better than this Biden Harris nonsense. I mean, you know, it's just a sad state of affairs. I mean, that's all I got to say. I mean, it really is. I think that we're going to get the bloodbath from hell in November. We really are. I mean, and I'm saying we. I mean, I'm not a Democrat, but there's going to be a bloodbath, and all this capitulating, and you think that Biden is capitulating now. You think he's capitulating now. You ain't seen nothing yet if he serves his full term, if they don't remove him. Because let me tell you, that little deal that Mitch McConnell made, that little deal that they made, I can guarantee you, Mitch McConnell will cheat on that deal. I mean, you know, he will cheat on that deal. And I mean, and I'm gonna tell you that you ain't seen nothing yet. They're going to remove Biden from office, which, you'll have President Harris. But, we'll end up with President Ron DeSantis in November 2024, and we're going to be under fascism. We're going to be under fascism because, that's what's going to happen. You got, it's not even enough that they overturn and it became a states' rights issue with Roe versus Wade. Now they're going to go and arrest people that moved out of the state. We're going to forbid people from moving out of the states, and then arrest people if they go to another state and come back. Which, I can't believe that's actually being, that's actually being considered a serious legal option. And what happens when the courts decide to get rid of gay marriage or make it a state's issue? What happens to people in Mississippi or in Wyoming or places like that when those states zap it out of their legal code? It's going to open a can of worms in this country, illegal worms like you wouldn't believe. So we're in some dark times ahead. And as I said yesterday, I thought that with the country going further right, I thought the one area where there was a little optimism was that I thought that this culture war nonsense could have probably kind of channel in other areas, channel in other areas, but unfortunately it's not. And I think that Joe Biden needs to resign. He needs to resign right now, because if he doesn't, there's going to be worse trouble ahead for everybody. And if there's primary in 2024, to all those who are committed inside the Democratic Party, you go and nominate another corporate Democrat, it's your funeral. It really is. There will be no more Democratic Party. Your Democratic Party's almost done for. It really is. It is done for, because, y'all don't learn. Y'all don't learn, Democrats. I don't know how many times I have said this in the last 30 years, but you don't learn. And I'm going to probably go to my grave and the Democrats being a shell of its former self, and y'all not going to learn. And it's frustrating as hell. I want to fucking move to another country sometimes. I really do. This country, again, we got less than 10% of the workforce that belong to a labor union, and 6% of it's in the private sector. And then you even got people who are trying to gut out what little bit, where there's a little bit of strength left, and that's in the federal and state government. They want to get rid of that too. And you got people, vultures, that want to privatize the Social Security and Medicare and means test it. And I have to talk about means testing lately, because that is a way that they pit one group against the other. They don't even do public services right in this country. They means test the shit out of everything. And when you mean test the shit out of everything, that ends up with a situation where you create a resentment factor. And sometimes, in a lot of cases, they'll try to racialize things and make it even more the case. It'll be something like, those black and brown people, they'll associate it with that. And then, and public services are race neutral. I'm going to repeat this again. Public services are race neutral. Public services are race neutral. But you hear people, they act like the public services and social welfare programs was created just to create a liberal plantation, which I hate that phrase. It gives me a fucking headache. The very people who never gave a shit about people of color saying, well, apparently, according to them, when people of color were being actively and overtly being worked against and having opportunities overtly denied to them and life were made extremely horrible for them deliberately, that's when their lives were supposedly improving. But all of a sudden, when there's a little bit of civil rights and they're treated as fairly as the white regular mainline white population, all of a sudden they are being coddled, and it's all of a sudden a liberal plantation. That's the mindset. That's the mindset of these people. On the one hand, as Republicans, they'll tell you, Democrats, the party of the KKK, Jim Crow. Then they'll tell you, Democrat runs city, because they try to imply black people runs the cities and urban areas. And then they'll be like, well, the Republicans freed the slaves in the 19th century. At the same time as they waved their Confederate flags in the year 2022, and they claim that they are the party that freed the slaves. At the same time, you even hear someone say that, but Abraham Lincoln was the biggest tyrant that ever lived. I mean, they have said that. They have talked out of the both sides of their mouths, and they are allowed to get away with this. But I'm pontificating once again. This is because I'm pontificating, because this is the kind of, you're going to hear a whole lot of this when the crazies are at it. More crazies are at it in November. Thank you, corporate Democrats. You certainly are the best friend of Republicans, of right-wing Republicans. I don't know why they hate your goddamn selves so much. They ought to be thankful to y'all, because you enable them. You enable them. You enabled the Marjorie Taylor Greens, Democrats. You enabled the Lauren Boeberts, Democrats. You enabled the Paul Gosars, Democrats. You enabled the Louis Gohmerts, Democrats. Democrats, you even got your leaders, Bill Hillary Clinton, to convince Donald Trump to run for president in 2016 to disrupt the primary. And then as he disrupted the primaries, which was actually pretty good entertainment, he basically backstabbed the Clintons as they were backstabbing and cheating Bernie. And then when Hillary Clinton lost, everybody blames Bernie. Go back 16 years. All these motherfuckers hated Ralph Nader. He blamed Ralph Nader for giving us George W. Bush. But once Donald Trump got elected and they started having Michelle Obama rubbing up against George W. Bush, and now they love Bush, and they still hate Nader. You get what I'm saying? This is the Democrats. This is why Democrats are the other conservative party. They hated Ralph Nader because he supposedly gave us George W. Bush. Now they love George W. Bush because of their hatred of Trump, but they still hate Ralph Nader. What does that tell you about the Democrats? Joe Biden, resign. You need to resign now. And if you don't, I mean, the Democrats are in trouble. They're going to be in bigger trouble, and we're going to speed up closer to fascism. Absolutely. Just what I got to say about that. Stuff that I think about all the time. And I mean, and to see the Democrats just always saying, well, we got to stop the right wing. And the best way to stop the right wing is to be just a little bit like them. Crazy. We need a Labor Party, people. We need a fucking Labor Party. That's what we need. We need a fucking Labor Party. Barry, how the hell are you? I saw the icon. Okay. appreciate it what you were telling me about the icon there. So, all right. Well, listen, folks, if you like what you heard, press like and comment. Um, Comment any way you disagree with what I have to say. We'll have a conversation. Um, Feel free to share the content on this channel. As a First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you to create your own platform and utilize it because we are the muckrakers of our time. And let's see what else I have to say. I have to say this. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. And remember, we need to reject corporate media and embrace more independent media now more than ever. And one final note before I part ways today, I will be, as I said, having guests on this program. So sometime, perhaps in the middle of July, I have a special guest that's going to be on the show. Got to wait for it to be confirmed. Is like right now we're going to say it's like 95% confirmed, but just have to get the final word and all of that. So and we're going to be having some other guests here. And I'm going to be letting you all know about that. And hopefully we're going to be doing this once a week. And I just wanted to go and let you know. So anyway, I am going to leave right now, and I will be talking to you all later. Hold tight. I'll be talking to you all later, maybe today, maybe tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.